Hello, today we are reviewing around 20 something blushes, aka my blush collection. Did I mention this just has cream and liquid blushes? This dump also has some popular hyped blushes. I'm going to judge these blushes on the basis of color payoff, blendability, pigmentation, price point, packaging, and long lasting. I am sure after watching this video, you will know which blush is for you and which one is not for you. Guys, my cheeks after swatching 20 blushes. I have given away, decluttered so many of my blushes. No normal person needs to own this amount of blushes. I feel like I have to put this out there every time. I have a few affordable ones, I have mid-range ones, and I also have like ek do high-end blushes. Now, I just want to put it out there that this is not your tutorial on how to apply blush. This is not a blush application video, and this is just solely to show you the pigment and the blendability on the face and how it looks on my cheeks. I would have easily just talked you through about each blush, just maybe show you hand swatches. But that did not sit well right with me because if I am watching a blush video, I need to see the cheek swatches. There are no rules to how much blush you should apply. On that note, let's get started. We are starting from the affordable section, and the first blush that I have in the affordable section is the Swiss Beauty Craze Lip and Cheek Macaron. This is the most affordable blush in my collection and also one of the oldest blush. If you remember me using this blush, comment down below. But thankfully this has not expired. I still have it till 2026. Cream blush that comes in a pan inspired by Tower 28 blushes. The shade that I have with me is brown. By MRP is 299, which is 300 rupees. If I forget to mention the shade and the price, it will be mentioned on the screen. Cream blushes are best blend with your fingers. Your fingers are going to be your best friend. This is like your brownie pinky blush. It looks like a deep mauve in the pan, but on the cheeks it translates as a pinkyish brown. This is very very smooth to touch. It's very very buttery. It's blendable. This blush has a slight bit of luminosity to it also. All of my cream blushes, because of how cold it is where I live, have become stiff, so I need to like warm it up in my fingers and then use it. But once the temperature is normal and these come back to normal, you can't expect cream blushes to last you for the whole day. You need to top it off with a powder blush and then you'll be good to go. This has a decent lasting power, like about 3 to 4 hours. The second blush is also from Swiss Beauty. It's the Cheek It Up blush. This is their newer blush. I have the shade High on Pink, which is the shade 01. It says it has a lumi matte finish. I would say it's more glowy, but it depends on what kind of skin prep you have. So this is a cream blush that comes in a stick form. The shade that I have is like a fuchsia bright pink, but I've grown to love pink blushes. But once you apply and blend it, it kind of shears out a little also, so it looks natural. It looks like that natural pink. Considering the price, the pigment is on point, the blendability is amazing. I do really appreciate the packaging of I think each of the other shades come in a different color coded packaging. For the packaging, I'm going to give this a solid 5 on 5, and I prefer my cream blushes in this packaging, like a stick one. We have another oud blush, but don't worry, this also has not expired. Used this blush a lot during the days when I could not buy a 500 rupee blush. I've stuck to this. This is the Blue Heaven Pop and Glow Cheek and Eyes Gel Bloom. You get it for 275. This comes for 275. I'm not really sure because the prices on different websites were different. And I have the shade Spicy Pink. Now this is a very pigmented liquid blush. I would call this a liquid blush, but this shade, once you blend it out, it looks pretty natural. I have this in my collection till now, so you know that it's a good blush. The fourth blush we have is the Mars Blush Hour liquid blushes. These are undeniably, in the very affordable section, the best liquid blushes that I've ever used. I have all 6 shades with me, but I'm not going to sit and swatch all 6. I've already done a swatch video for these, so you can go watch that shorts. Favorites, I will say, is Sunkissed, like a baby pink. Then I also really like Dusk, which is like a coral pinky blush. And then we have Night Glow, which is like your maroon blush. I think this maroon and K Beauty ka Awaken maroon is very similar. This shade looks better on the cheeks. These just come for 250 rupees. Like, is these liquid blushes are amazingly pigmented. They are very, very pigmented. So you just need the slightest one dot for both of your cheeks. That's how pigmented this is. Blendability, the shades, the price point, the formula, the finish, I would say it's like a natural radiance, but it's more dewy, but not overly dewy. These easily last on your cheeks for 4 to 5 hours. I don't have any flaw to pick in these, but if I had to, I think it would be the packaging. I'm not really a fan of this kind of packaging. Sometimes excess product has come out and it's not the most convenient way to apply. For the price, we can overlook that. It's so easy on the pocket without the quality being compromised. If you are looking for a liquid blush in the affordable section, look no further. I was not sure if I want to mention this because this is like the newest blush that I have. It's by Cuffs and Lashes. It's not the She Glam blush. I have 3 different shades in this. I have rosewood, I have peaches, and then I have blushing pink. I'm going to talk about this shade in this video. I'll post the swatches separately. Comes in a very nice, I say, sponge applicator, which is honestly very, very convenient and nice to apply. Pretty shade, by the way. These blushes are very, very natural looking. They have just the right pigmentation. It's not too pigmented. I think I do really like the blushes. For the section, now we have moved on to the mid-range section, and in this range only I have the most number of blushes. Starting with a water tint. This is the Face Shop water. This is the Face Shop water tint. I don't know why I have hold on to this. I don't like this. First of all, it's a tint, okay, something that you can use on your eyes, lips, cheek. It comes in a sponge applicator like this. I have the shade rose pink. Now this blush dries out in 2 seconds. Understand blushes that settle fast and you have to work with, and then I'm left with this ugly patch that I can't blend. This is for 549 rupees. This is a tint that literally stains your cheeks or your lips. It settles so quickly, it's hard to blend. No way you can make it better or do like some damage control. With this blush, I feel like it's impossible almost. It is transfer proof, it is waterproof, but I don't want to put anything on my face that won't come off. Like even with micellar water, I struggled taking this off. This is for those people who want that long lasting tint that won't budge, that won't move, but not for me. Next, I have what you can call my current favorite blush, which is the FAE Beauty Lush Blush. I have the shade Silly, which is a soft caramel brown. It's like a brownish blush. The packaging is so cute and unique, like a nail polish bottle. And then you have a very nice applicator that's not too big, not too tiny, but just dispenses the right amount of product. Now I can close my eyes and blend this blush. Okay, so contrary to the Face Shop tint, but I can close my eyes, I can take much time as I want to blend this because it blends beautifully. It's a liquid blush, but I feel like it's very creamy to be a liquid blush, like feather lightweight on the cheeks. This has stayed put on me for 5+ hours, and I don't think anybody is gonna wear blush for more than 8 hours. Best, I feel like you can blend this with your brush, something like this. The shade range, you can't argue, is one of the best blush shade ranges we have in Indian brands. This outer cartoon is like a big big chunky one. Okay, I'm not going to keep that. Eventually I have to throw it away. And what I appreciate in most of my products is the expiry date mentioned in the product, because if I throw away the packaging, this just has the quantity and the shade name. That is a little bit of a bummer with this. The next liquid blush I have is from Makeup Revolution. Now I bought this when Rare Beauty was out of reach, and this they were saying is a dupe. I have the shade Rose Lust, and it is a good liquid blush. Again, something that's super pigmented, it blends nicely. It has the same finish as Rare Beauty. So now I know why they called this a dupe. It's like your cool tone mauve. This will resemble and be very close to Rare Beauty in Courage or Believe. In one word, it's an underrated blush because formula is nice, it's pigmented. The next blush I have is from the house of KIRO. It's actually a lip. This is actually a lip and cheek tint again. I've had this for a while, but I just used it very late. I don't know about other products, but blushes and lipsticks, I will give it to this brand. They know how to make one of the nicest blushes and lipsticks. Inca stick blushes I've been using for a while, so that is why maybe I didn't gravitate towards this. In the shade 03, I have Raspberry Compote. This has the use before date over here, which I appreciate. Iska texture is in between like a watery gel. The pigment you have control over. You can use it for the most natural tint, or you can build it up and be like very dramatic. It settles fast, so you have to work pretty quick. If you're not confident applying directly, always what I do is take a little bit on the back of your hand, take your brush and then apply. It feels very lightweight on the cheeks. That is again another plus point. Lasting power also, I'd say it's pretty nice. Like up to 4 hours, it's still going to be there on your cheeks, after which it might fade away. The next blush we have is from Praush Beauty. They're jelly tints. Now I'd say this is a very cool product to have, like a very fun product, but it also works. Grape Crush is my favorite. What I like about this is now it looks so natural. I don't like wearing this when I have any kind of base product on, but when I have bare skin. Benetint and this is also a tint that's gonna stain. This is like your liquid tint in a jelly form. Then we have what we call the very controversial blush, the e.l.f. Camo Blushes. I have the shade, this is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush. I have the shade Suave Mauve. I know people who really love it. I know people who really hate it. The applicator is nice, big and round. What I've seen people pointing out in this is the glittery particles it has. Now, I will say it is there, but you can't almost see it. I looked it up very closely on my hand, on my cheeks. It's there. Okay, it's there when you look at it very closely. Now, this is your very pigmented, very long-lasting blush. 5 on 5 on pigmentation plus long lasting. This is the liquid blush for you. One thing I will say about this is that you have to work quickly with this. Why I don't reach for it too much is because it's not a blush that it's unique and like very out of the box for me, because I have rare beauty in my collection. I gravitate more towards using the original. That's the only reason. The next blush we're talking about is the KIRO Multi Wonder Sticks. These are one of my favorite cream blushes. You know it. Vintage Rose Pink Chiffon. Pink Chiffon is your very nice, again, baby pink. And Vintage Rose is like a mix of coral and pink. These come for 850 rupees each, but on sale you can easily get this for 5 to 600 rupees. It blends like butter on your skin. It has the most beautiful, dewy, glowy finish. Your ideal blush for summers, or if you have extremely oily skin. Too dewy if you have super oily skin, but for my dry skin, you can feel the quality of these blushes when you use it. If you can spend that much on a blush, you will really like it. Next, we have Diam Beauty, our very own Indian brand. Before I even talk about these blushes, I want to say, I know some of you will be concerned about every blush I'm talking about, if it's comedogenic or non-comedogenic. I went to each individual blush website. None of them had specifically mentioned as this or that blush is non-comedogenic, except for these. I went to Diam Beauty's website. These blushes are non-comedogenic. I have Monomore and Lover. Monomore is like your nude brown shade, again like a brown blush, and Lover is like your bright, proper true red. The packaging of these blushes, I would give them 5 on 5. You can justify that it's a 800-900 rupees wala blush. These have these diamond core in the middle. I think it's inspired by Nudestix blushes. Has like skincare infused. It has a radiant dewy finish. One problem I have with these blushes thoda sa is the blendability, especially the shade Lover with a brush though, especially even when I blend it, it ends up looking patchy on my cheeks. Blendability mein, I'm gonna give them 215. So how I make it work is I will not directly apply it. I'll take some on the back of my hand, and then these are one of the most pigmented cream blushes that I have. Next cream blush that we have is Simply Nam's Velvet Cream Magic Blush. These come for 13.99, but there's almost always like a flat 40% off on their own website. This is again a very creamy, buttery, smooth. I think these blushes had their viral moment. It's quite pigmented, so you need like a slightest bit. This blush, I would say, like among all the cream blushes that I have, most long lasting. One thing I'd like to point is that this has very minute golden shimmer particles. So just a heads up. This blush also says that they are sweat resistant and it's long lasting. Okay, this is the last mid-range category blush. It is the K Beauty Tea Velvet Creme Multi-Use Blush. I have the shade Awaken. I regret getting this shade. It looks so stunning on the pan. It's so nice to keep in your vanity. But on the cheeks, it translates like a dark pink almost. And I'm not really fan of the shade. If you're getting this, go for the lighter shade. Coming to the formula, this is creamy blush that when you put it on your cheeks, it becomes like a powdery soft matte finish. I prefer this size. It so nicely fits in your makeup bag. Size is adorable. It comes for 1200 rupees. I will not recommend you to get this on full price. We have reached the high-end expensive blush section. I just have 3 blushes here. The first one is Rare Beauty. I don't have any explanation why I have 3 of these. I think I went through a very Rare Beauty blush obsession phase. Do I regret it now? Absolutely yes. I'm telling you, you don't even need the full size. All you need is the mini size, and this will last you for a lifetime. Anyways, I have 3 shades: Believe, Virtue, Truth. This is the first blush that I got. These come for 2200, but in Sephora India, it's the prices are so high, you get it for almost 3000. The minis you get it for 1600, I think, but Sephora has a sale every now and then. The blushes for 1300 rupees. That's the best time to get these. Blushes come in both radiant dewy finish and matte finishes. I have not tried the matte finishes. I've heard they're not so good. Virtue is what I have on my cheeks today. It's like a soft corally peachish blush. These have very dewy, healthy glow on. I really like these blushes. I use this on top of my makeup. It does not disturb my base product. These are my most used liquid blushes in my collections. Again, a tint. It's the Benefit Benetint. It's a very very watery tint. It's a very very versatile product for me. It's my most used tint, and I use it when I have bare skin. I use this only on bare skin, and it gives me the most nice rosy flush to my cheeks. So these have a very light stain. It's buildable, but it has a light stain. So if you like very pigmented lip and cheek tints or cheek stains, this is not the product for you. You will not like it. So just skip it altogether. The last blush for today is the Nudestix. It's from Nudestix. It's the Nudestix Nudies Matte Luxe All Over You blush color. Now this has different finishes. The shade that I have is Rosy Posy, which is a pretty cool tone pink. Shade, I feel like it's not the most pigmented one. And Swiss Beauty ka blush ka feel and texture, I feel it's the same. It does have that little bit of the glow, that dewy factor. This is an expensive one, even after getting it on 40%. But now we have KIRO, we have Swiss Beauty, we have so many affordable that perform same if not better. I have 2 very overpriced blushes in my wish list. Should I share the Dior blush and the Patrick Ta duo blush type, and the Taurinate and the Say Beauty? Basically these are brands that are not available in India. Affordable section में the best liquid blush, mid-range में best liquid blush, mid-range best cream blush. For tints, either this or Benetint. I'm going to quickly take you through my most used blush brushes, because I know I'm going to get this question and this might be helpful. Most used brush. I'm not even sure if you still get this, but this is from Wet n Wild. This is not a blush brush, okay? It's like your angular brush. I think that's what it's called. I got this 5-6 years ago and I still use it. It's still in the perfect condition. Best blush brush I've ever used. It's not very densely packed, but it's not too fluffy. It's the only blush brush that I use to blend my powder, cream. Then for particularly like a liquid, this one is a very very densely packed brush, cream and liquid. This is from this brand, the drugstore company. It's the number 02. I will link this for you. Now this is the Mars powder brush. I use this to blend my cream, liquid. Again, very nice. The fluffy brush, but works very well. Also, I've blended my brush and it blends very very nicely. This is like a slightly bigger brush than the ones that I've shown. Pro Art PF07. Currently use it for my contour. It works really nice as a contour brush too. So it's a very versatile brush. So these are my thoughts on on the blush collection, all the blushes that I have. I really hope this was very helpful. I'm going to end today's video. If you've watched it so far, I think we have not done this for the last few videos, but if you've watched it so far, leave this pink emoji. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a like, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.